Ooh. Oh my goodness.
Hello.
How's
Welcome.
everybody doing?
Good morning. Welcome to Rise of
Good
Mind.
morning.
We're back.
I'm coming in like a space pimp.
Yeah,
You
it's
heard?
Space
I'm looking
pimp.
like I walked off the set of Star Wars here. Mid-century mobile is in full effect. I'm so happy with this jacket.
CP sketch render.
That's right.
You took my cargo, sir. How dare you steal? How dare you steal
right.
my priceless Viridium gems?
I thought they smelled bad from the outside. Oh man, I'm feeling this coat. I just picked this coat up last night. I'm feeling fresh. I'm feeling good. And you know what else?
Oh, God.
Why I'm feeling really good?
Why?
What do you think this cost?
$2.
What do you think this right? I wish.
$3.
What do you think this? No.
$67.
No.
$28.3.
Nope.
Okay.
It was like $10.
Oh, wow, damn.
So this is Rise in Mind. Tip of the week, the shopping buyer's tip. Rise in Mind, we're here about saving money, a working man's budget.
Mm-hmm.
We've got an official Rise in Mind, biggest coffee cup you've ever seen. Ram it in your mouth. Good morning. Space Biking found that. How much did that official giant Ram cup cost you? Microwave safe.
$5.
Blazing. See? Where'd you get it?
$5. Goodwill.
See? That's how you get a Ram product.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is a Ram product because this is a very mid-century vibe, which we're into, and
Dude, we're almost at.
It was $10.
We're almost at a milestone, dude. I've not been watching our followers on this channel. We're at 71 apparently. We're almost at 100. That's cool.
Scarlet sleeping. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Scarlet.
We're here to entertain. We're here to entertain.
We are.
Do you like my jacket? Do you like my jacket?
I gotta match energy.
So this is a pro tip from the Ram Squad, CP official shopping tip of the week. You want to get your Ram jacket, you wait. When do you buy it? You don't buy it in the fall. You don't buy it in the winter. You buy it right now. Because, and if you're a big Ram bro like me, they always have this was the last one left. They have like a 1-2X, you know? And I'm like, here we go. I can do it.
The last
perfect.
2X. All right.
Perfect vest fit. $10. All right, we're gonna get comfortable here.
So this was not. God damn it, CP! I just put my vest on.
You don't have your video showing.
I don't. Yes, it is.
Oh yeah, okay. You can wear your vest, man. That's cool. I just wanted to show off my new vest.
Okay. I was just gonna match energy.
Super Vest Brothers.
Super Vest Brothers. I wanted to be Super Vest Brothers. No, it'll be too warm. Anyway, okay. Too warm.
So how's your week been, man? Man.
It's been both awesome and not great at the same time.
What's the percentage?
The percentage of each?
Yeah.
I honestly, it's like 60% awesome.
Well, can't beat that. I mean, we can, but
yeah.
But at least it's not. At least it's not a total train wreck. I'm happy that something's going.
Because I got my new car.
You can't always go good. Oh yeah.
Got my new car. It's awesome. It's great. There's a lot of problems with the administration around getting it and what's going on with my compensation for why it took so long. I was supposed to get it on March 16th. They had to fix some stuff.
Didn't you? Yeah, you flagged it too, right?
Yep. And it went to it was supposed to be done a week after that. And then another week went by. And then another week went by. And then another week went by. And I was in communication with them the whole time. And I kept and my car kept feeling worse and worse throughout this time. I'm like, if something happens to my older car while this is going on, like I'm gonna be really upset because like I'm supposed to have a new one now. And they gave me some compensation, which is very, very, very. It was good. They're gonna give me a $250 gas card, and they're paying for my first payment.
Nice. They didn't just give you like a free coffee cup and a trail mix like some of these places do.
It wasn't some shit like that, no. But here's the funny thing.
That's good.
They said they were going to hand it to me when I picked up the car. They did not do that. There was a miscommunication at the dealership. So accounting was supposed to mail it to me.
Okay.
And it was supposed to be here on Tuesday. And it is now Friday. Or it's now Saturday, and I still have not gotten my care package, and the first payment is due on Tuesday. So if I don't have that at that time, like what do I do? Like what do I threaten to sue him? Like what do I like? Cause at this point it's like it's getting ridiculous. It's like you guys are really dropping the ball here.
Man, sorry, dude. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. But
it should come soon though. But it's probably just all hung up.
It's this rural thing. Like if you have mail coming and it's supposed to be here by a certain day, unless it's an Amazon package, don't expect it to get here when they say it's going to get here.
Yeah. Amazon's crazy. You can like click buy now and that shit's like on your doorstep.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I swear they just have all the stuff in the truck, so they have teleporters or something.
They just have
something that they're doing.
So apparently they have, from what I've been told, they have warehouses all over the world, and every warehouse is supposed to have every product that is the most commonly bought in that region. And they have analytics to make sure they have the products that are most commonly bought. That's why the warehouses are so huge. Yeah.
Where are they though? Do we have any in New England?
Yep, they have Boston. Actually, I stayed at the hotel that was like right next to one in Boston.
No shit.
Yeah. And that was crazy seeing the robot. They have robotic trucks going from one side of the warehouse to the other. So there were these like they looked like truck trailers driving themselves. I was like,
oh my god!
I was like, those are cool.
Just empty trucks just going back and forth.
Well, they had crates on them. They had pallets on them.
But nobody driving. That's crazy.
They were being loaded by robot forklifts. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Man, that's wild.
It was
We're
cool.
gonna have to come up with some new weirdo jobs. But we do, don't we?
We'll figure something out. Yeah.
Like everybody has a little side hustle, and some things blow up for people.
When the robots take over all the jobs, the only job that's going to really matter is keeping people entertained.
Yeah,
because we're not going to.
I don't know if they can do everything, man.
No, they can't do everything. No, you're going to have
like what is
the job where you fix the robots. I think that's going to be a big one. You're going to have to become a electrician / mechanic. Which is just a robotics technician, which would be both of those mixed together. And then you'd have to have people to program the robots and keep the programming in order. And then cybersecurity. It's going to be huge. Because if you have a robot in your home and it gets hacked to kill you, how do you find the murderer?
Yeah, there's some situations that it doesn't seem like it's ready to work out, and they have like robotic warehouses that are a complete shit show right now too. Or at least people are blaming it on that. I had this mechanic, I've had something there for like well over a year, and he's like, yeah, I'll get right on. And he's like, oh, the robot factory exploded or something. And it's like, nice excuse, but
well, it was the there's one in the UK which is the opposite of a problem. Like they managed to make it work so efficiently that it actually became financially unstable because they were able to fill orders faster than they could get them.
Holy fuck.
They're like, well, we built this system, and well, now now that they had publicity, they don't have the problem anymore. But at the time of this documentary, they were having some issues with like man, we made the system so good that now like we have robots just sitting there like pinging, waiting for an order, and they're just like, what do I do? And the robots get confused. Apparently, that was so funny. They said the robot will get not necessarily confused, but its only function is to have an order to send. And if it waits for an order for too long, it will go through its routine cycle anyway, and then it will get in the way of the robots that actually do have orders.
Oh, nice. Be like some Three Stooges shit, like in Short Circuit with the Johnny Five robots and shit.
When they were all
Nova Robotics rolling up in.
when they were running into each other.
Yeah. Yoink, 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 yoink. Speaking of robots and automation, did you see the stuff about the Cybertruck, Tesla's new Cybertruck?
Oh, what, all the problems it's having, or what?
Yeah, like they have this major design flaw where there's a cover that goes on top of the gas pedal, and it slides up, and it actually jams the pedal in the down position underneath, like where the carpet is and stuff.
Yeah.
And they had to recall like every single one of them, and then you know what they do? They just take that thing and put it on, and they put a bolt right through the cover.
Yeah,
that's all they've been doing.
Yep.
Your fucking space age Cybertruck. It does look cool though.
This is actually something I really want. This is part of what I wanted to talk about today too. How we're so ready for technology to get better, but we fail to realize that technology has peaks and valleys. Like the Cybertruck is trying so hard to be innovative, and it doesn't have to be. And then here Rivian is over on the other side. Rivian's got this amazing product that looks cool, functions as advertised, and didn't try to reinvent anything. They're just like, oh, here's all these things that work, and we're just gonna slap them together. It had an issue. It did have an issue with one of the wheel bearings that they used in their manufacturing was faulty, so that had a recall as well. But that was a fatal one. So you're going 80 down the highway in an electric truck that weighs even more than a regular truck because of the batteries, and then your wheel bearing fails.
It does weigh more. It is really heavy.
There's actually because there's so many EVs out on the road now, all the DOT commissions in all the states are having issues with the guardrails are not strong enough to stop these vehicles.
Holy fuck.
Yep. There's a video of a Rivian truck just right through a guardrail, just turns it into paper.
Oh my god. That's some Terminator shit. That's insane, dude. Oh my god. That is nuts. Yeah, those trucks, fuck those trucks.
Yeah.
Totally forgot what I was gonna say. I had a segue and everything. Whoops.
The Cybertruck, for instance, like it's trying to be space age, but it doesn't work as a truck. There's videos all over online of people who actually bought it because they like trucks and they wanted an EV truck, and it's like it can't tow, it can't do off-road, the actual cargo bed can't carry anything. Like it's so small. It's like that's just a really big SUV with extra cargo space. Like you just.
Yeah, I hadn't even heard of that thing, but I just recently heard about the recalls, and I can't keep up with all that stuff. Oh, I know what I was going to say. You have to, but you have to expect it a little bit, right? Anyone who invents something new, like think of how many failures there have been, and so many dumb things that people have made, and it's like art, dude. You have to try it out. You don't know. You might totally fuck it up, but you try different things.
That's very
true. To get different outcomes. And so that being said,
so the next iteration of the Cybertruck hopefully addresses all this, is what you're saying. Like you just gotta you figure out what's wrong, and
well, okay, there's something interesting that I just learned. I'll say briefly. And so remember Fallout 4?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna replay Fallout 4 soon. Actually, oh, you might want to actually also replay Fallout 4.
Why?
On the 25th, they released a new update. It's gonna look amazing on your new TV.
Oh, dude, yes. I've been wanting to get back into it because there's a series out which I still haven't seen, but it has Walter Goggins and Walton Goggins, and he's fucking. You watch some of it?
2 episodes. It's very good.
All right, I've been leery because Prime kicked in these fucking ads. They want me to spend more money, and I just don't want ads, dude. I hate ads.
Same. And now
I don't want to be.
Now you got to pay extra to have ads removed, and it's like Amazon's one of those ones that I didn't expect to do that. I expected Hulu and Netflix to do it, but I didn't expect Amazon because they're making so much money on Prime already.
I know.
So like they're saying that, like, the phrase I like to use is your free shipping is costing you $15 a month. Mm-hmm. It's like, that's not free. Like, they're making a shit ton of money on this concept that, oh, I'm getting free shipping. It's like, no, you're not. And then they threw in then they threw in Prime Video. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, that makes it a bit more feasible. And they're making so much money extra on this free shipping thing that, okay, that's cool that they're kicking something back to us. They're giving us like this Amazon Music, and you can get Amazon Prime Video, and it's all included with the Prime subscription that gives you the shipping as well. Like, now it starts,
Twitch subscription.
Yeah,
all that.
Now it starts to feel like a good deal. But now they're throwing ads in it, and it's like, okay, now let's doesn't feel like a good deal anymore.
Yeah, they set up a premium. It's like, you don't need to make more money. I know there's not a pandemic going on, but God, they made so much money. What do they need to start a space federation? This is insane. Like, how do you need that much money? They already have all the access to everything on the planet.
Just some salty shareholder somewhere being like, you guys need to cut us a bigger cut.
Fucking guys, how much is enough is enough. But speaking of inventions, that Fallout house in the beginning that you stay in before the bomb goes off with your kid. Mm-hmm. So do you know what that is? That's modeled after a real house.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's a mid-century house called the Lustron.
Oh, those metal houses that they used to have?
Yeah, you can call it up, but after the war, just like now, I mean, it's not a war situation, but we have a housing crisis, as you know.
Yeah.
And housing's becoming ridiculously expensive, and they're saying, like, you got to make 3 figures now to buy a house, and people are working their fucking sack off, and there's some stuff that's a bit troubling there. But when the soldiers came back, it was the same idea. They needed to start a life. They were coming home from war. Okay. They were going to move into the consensus 50s. So from
this is perfect to break ground with. Actually, you want to just go into it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, look it up.
Nice. Okay, so we're going to be breaking some ground. So here we got the Lustron house that I brought up on the Google. Okay. I'm on the wrong Google though. I got to go to the Rise and Mine Google. Here we go.
So this is a lot of fun. I'll give you a little information and we can look at some stuff. So it's the house from Fallout 4, basically. It's a small, little, efficient house made completely out of metal, completely out of steel. You don't need to ever paint it. You just wash it off with a hose. That's what they promote. But it's 100% a kit.
It's aluminum.
It's a kit that you buy, right? Buy this kit, and then you can either put it all together like Legos.
Yeah.
Or you can hire someone to do it. But you should look up.
I actually kind of like it.
It's awesome, dude. It has the sliding doors and everything.
I'm such a futurist. I'm thinking, like, I kind of want one of these. Like,
dude, they're beautiful. I would have one too. Look at that close up. See that rail? That's the only like interesting design. There's a porch rail.
Yeah.
on the other one, way over, it's a specific design, and you can see that in Fallout 4 as well. If you go up a couple and stay all the way over to the left, on the main, holy, the delay is killing me. Yeah, there you go. Oh shit.
It looks like people are updating them though. Like here's a pretty recent picture. It looks like they're making it look more.
Oh yeah,
more livable, I should say. Less like robotic looking. Like,
so
this kitchen's interesting. It's just interesting, really.
Isn't it nuts? Yeah, that's like a little cafe, like diner style kitchen.
You know what I'm talking about?
Look how much it is.
Price differences. Oh god.
That shit was $497. You got a kit, you put it together like Legos. It was manufactured for 3 years by that Aladdin company there, like cars, dude. Like I think in Chicago and the steel mills or whatever. Yeah. So for $400, look up the kit. Look up the kit that you would get, the Lustron kit. It has like pictures of like it all laid out on the ground. So
yeah,
it was the idea to have like cheap housing, and this is
we might have to go back to it at this rate.
Yeah, well, we're doing it already. Tiny houses, storage stuff. I have a trailer. Like this is becoming like.
Well, the floors even like, are panels. That's fascinating.
Yeah, it all just snaps together, and it comes in 4 different colors. You got that blue and the yellow. I can't remember what they're called. They have fancy like surf blue or something.
Pre-colored too.
They have 4. Yeah, pre-colored. You order it like a car. It's like I want the this yellow package, Lustron kit, and then you put it all together. And it had enough rooms for you, your spouse, a couple kids. It was smaller. It was like the smallest double wide you'll ever see. Like the doors have to slide in. Oh, there you go. You see that corner piece? It's like 2 poles and there's a squiggly line in between it. That's the ornate end piece. That these things are pretty bare bones if you look at the construction, but that's like kind of the architectural and interesting piece. And if you play Fallout 4, they have an extended garage over those. That's one of the big differences, but that's the ending piece that holds up the extended garage, the carport or whatever on the Fallout versions of the Lustron. But it's pretty much the thing, you know, like if you want to see a Lustron, play Fallout 4's beginning chapter.
Yeah.
Or you go on tour, dude. There are 2,500 Lustron houses in the United States,
and they're still being used as houses.
Yeah. Do you know where they are?
They're in one. Are they in one place?
They're all over.
Well, tell me then.
Do you know where?
What's up?
So they're pretty much in Middle America, you know, Kansas and like areas like that. What you call flyover states and stuff like that. But I looked. There is absolutely no Lustrons in Maine, and I don't think there are any in New Hampshire.
Oh wow!
But we could go. I think there's one in Jersey. I wonder if anyone does like tours of them. Man, if I had a Lustron, that's what I'd do. I'd set up Saturday tours and fucking.
Oh man, I would
make bank. You'd make bank, dude.
Honestly, what you would want to do is Airbnb it, because then people want to know what it's like to live in these. They don't want to just look at it. So if you Airbnb it, you could charge a crazy amount on Airbnb for it, and people would do it.
Yeah, stay the night in a Lustron, and then you could do like random tours. You could rent it out for a party.
Yeah,
you could have all kinds of. Wow, you could use it for a lot of stuff. I'd love to have one and have it as a storefront because they're all open concept.
That would be
cool.
Put
some arcade machines and a bunch of art. You know, put a big arcade outside for the sign, Dreamers Arcade, and people come in.
Dude. So that's
walk around the Lustron.
Why didn't it take off? What happened with
they went bankrupt.
They went bankrupt? Was it because of the cost? They didn't like make them. They should have charged more for them.
I don't know. They fucked it all up. They manufactured them for like 3 years, and
that's a good idea.
It's weird. It's weird because metal was so it was conserved during the war, for our ammunition and things like that. But then post-war, I don't know, would they start melting all the shit down?
Yeah.
They just start melting planes.
Yeah, I mean,
but it didn't add up. It didn't add up, dude.
We need to bring that up because we need to bring that back because now there's a surplus of military hardware just sitting around that you could melt down to make these homes.
Mm-hmm.
There's airfields that have like thousands of planes. There's junkyards that have thousands of cars. Like we could just start melting shit down and build these houses again. This would be a great thing to bring back, but in today's money, I feel like even this, with it being a kit, you'd still be talking $200,000.
Yeah, I think one thing that they're trying to do is get these gigantic 3D printers.
That's coming up too. Yeah,
people have 3D printed like entire houses. You put them together like Legos. Who knows? Like any invention, how long does that work out? Do people get sick? Do they get cancer from staying in a plastic thing or whatever it's made out of?
They're concrete. It's 3D printed concrete.
Oh,
and here
cool.
it is. I'll bring it up for us to see.
That's cool.
So this is our times Lustron.
Like whatever you want.
This is our times Lustron. This is what we have now. That's sort of the equivalent to a Lustron house, and they're futuristic. Look at this shit. That's kind of cool. But this is how they're done. They pour the concrete the same way the plastic's poured in a 3D print.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah. My whole thing is like, how the fuck do you do the electrical inside? There's probably like you probably have to have
conduit.
You have to have an inner wall as well. You probably still need studs, don't you?
No, because well, you can graft things onto it. You could have you could have these hangers that are made into the concrete, and then you could slide a rod down through them.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Oh,
and
right.
then you could connect. Then you could run wire through it because there's all that. You've seen it everywhere,
Yeah.
Metal conduit piping that runs just off the surface. So you really, if most people, they build a house, they build a stud wall, and they enclose all their wires, but it's just as easy to have exposed wire. Think about it. Would it not look bad? Could you imagine if you had to shiny chrome conduit and light boxes?
That would be cool.
And then crazy mid-century chandeliers and stuff in a fucking cement house. And you could probably put additive color in it as it mixes. So you could do a fucking dig dug gradient through your whole house.
You could, yeah, you could easily do that. Because it comes
be beautiful.
It comes from a hopper, so you could just layer in the colors as it goes.
Does it come to Dennis hoppers?
Dennis, I don't know. This also. So what I wanted to talk about today, is these technologies are getting so good, so advanced, but the human, what we are, who we are, is not advancing, not quick enough to keep up with the tech. This technology is amazing, but it's gonna be sold as a novelty because humans are scarcity-minded apes still. We're oh no, we gotta make money. We need all the money. So this cool technology is going to be abused. All the technology is coming out.
What'd you do with all the money?
What'd you do with all the money? That's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. Is how, how we're not exactly ready for the technologies that are coming out.
You heard it here, folks. We're not ready. Space Viking says we're not ready for the new technology.
It's just my opinion.
It can't move. It moves too fast for us. What's the point?
It's not about what's the point. I love the tech. I love what it's doing. I love how it functions, and the possibilities are amazing. The 3D printed house is going to be what we build on the moon. We're going to have 3D printed structures on the moon.
Wow, that's pretty amazing to think.
We can send a fleet. We can send a fleet of robots to build our little outpost on the moon before we're even there.
That trips me out, dude. The shit that happens now is straight out of a science fiction movie.
But like when you think of those science fiction movies, though, like, do you see any homeless people in the
Yes.
in the science fiction movies? Oh, well, it depends on which one. Yeah, that's true.
The ones I watch, yes, like
Yeah.
like Demolition Man.
Oh yeah.
They're the
Oh,
the
that
people
was
that don't want to conform go down in the sewer and they kind of
as goofy as that
starve.
movie is. That was probably the more accurate vision of the future than most of them.
Demolition Man is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's probably my most quoted movie of all time, and you're right. It paints a fucking accurate picture
Yeah.
of how things were to come
I,
in different
I mean,
ways.
speaking of Fallout, though, I really like Fallout's vision of the future is very correct for if we went a very different direction with our technology. I think it was the first Fallout game explained that I think it was the cathode ray, the cathode,
Like these
something
like these CRTs back here.
Well,
Like,
no, see,
that's a cathode.
oh, that's okay, so that's not what I'm thinking of. I think it's solenoids. It's something to
Probably.
something that makes a computer work. Was never invented. So everything is analog. Everything is vacuum tube. Absolutely everything.
What vacuum tube? Like you go to the bank and you put the check in the vacuum tube.
No, it's just
Does that even exist anymore?
not that kind of vacuum tube. I'm talking about vacuum tube TVs. You know how
The ones from Adam and Eve.
basically I don't know about the technology well enough. We've gone so far towards digital that I don't even know what I'm talking about. Let me look that up.
That's a quote from our sponsor. I don't even know what I'm talking about. You can get it here first, folks, on Rise and Mine. I don't know what I'm even talking about. T-shirts and buttons from the man himself.
Well, it's part of the show, though. Like when I hit a wall in my thought pattern, it's like, well, let's just look this up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, this is educational today. We're learning some stuff.
Transistors, that's what it was. Transistors weren't invented in the Fallout world. So there was no transistors, which made everything have to be go the other direction with technology. Which is why in order for us to have high powered anything, instead of batteries, it's mini fusion reactors.
Wow, that's insane, dude.
All the cars ran off mini fusion reactors. The power armor runs off of mini fusion reactors. Yeah.
Unbelievable, dude. We're never ready for this shit anyway, because think about it. Humanity, with every beat of technological expanse, like we think of it now as like, oh, new computers and AI and stuff and that kind of tech.
They did not become as popular. So transistors did not become as popular, and vacuum tubes continued to be the dominant building block of electronics into the 21st century. And Fallout takes place in 2076, I think.
Okay.
So it's actually it's like further along than us. So the thing is, though, is like very different history happened as well, like the Cold War. Very different. Well, World War II ended differently, I think, in their series as well. So it's like the history, like the reason we are where we are now and our technology is moving so fast, I think is partly because of us adopting the transistor more so than the other thing as well. I think our technology moves quickly because computer technology is iterative and builds upon itself so easily.
Yeah.
Like, I just had something like this happen just now. Actually, in 3 instances in my life in the last 2 weeks. I got a new vehicle. I had to put a new processor in my computer, and I had to get a new phone. Now, all 3 of those, right? I'm like completely blown away by just in 4 years time, the advancement. Like, the car is insane. Like, it's like a fucking it's like a fucking spaceship, and I'm like, I don't even need half this shit in here. And then
I love my car. It's the first car. No, it's not the first car. It's the car that I have loved the most. And
I feel like that's where I'm at with this one already. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
my buddy I went and saw a movie with last night, he said, "How do you like this car?" Because he's looking to get something else. He just had to spend over two grand fucking on some repairs on his car.
Oh, that's
I
why.
don't even know if it's worth it at this
That's
point.
what spurned mine. I was like, oh, I don't want to keep doing this.
Yeah, it gets to a point where you're just putting it on life support. I'm looking at my car, if you're wondering too. Like, what's he looking at?
Yeah.
Like,
You
I'm-
have
I'm being
a
romantic.
what's your vehicle, just for those who are going to listen instead of watch?
It's a Chevy Equinox. It's this rusty orange color of my shirt. It's the Ram Mobile, and it's wonderful. Mini SUV, I guess, and you can haul stuff in it, and it's kind of like a little truck. I can buy stuff at the Home Depot and haul 2x4s in it, and even lawnmowers. It's pretty cool. Like, it has a lot of room. But like you said, those features, man, those fucking features, like, they're all pretty standard now, but like backup camera through the sensors that let you know people are coming, it's so much easier.
Mine does this thing that I didn't realize I needed. It's something that I never thought about. So when I put my blinker on, it has a light that shoots to the side, to light up the road where I'm turning. And it only turns on when I turn my blinker on. And I'm like, oh my god.
That's pretty fucking cool.
I was like, I didn't realize how much I would want something like that until I saw it do it, and I'm like, oh, I can see really well over there now. I was like, oh, shit.
Do you have the thing on the mirror that when you put your signal on, if there's a car in the other lane and a sensor, it lights up?
Mm-hmm.
That shit is fucking awesome.
That's
when I drive in cars that don't have it, like if I have to drive another car that doesn't have it, it's so inconvenient.
It's just that thing, you have to look,
has your back. Well, it just has your back. Like, it alleviates so much stress. Like, you're not going to back up into someone.
What do they call it?
It's a great invention.
It's a blind spot sensor. That's what it is. Yeah, it's the blind spot indicator, which my last car almost had no blind spot whatsoever. This one definitely does. So I'm happy that I have that. My last car had a blind spot, like everyone. Yeah, I also have that. Leos Van Hoon, hello.
Yo, what's up?
Welcome in. We're talking about tech, and we're talking about how some of these new technologies are pretty cool. Maybe some of them are unnecessary, but we're actually getting into some of the ones that are actually kind of nice. Like, I just bought a new vehicle, and we're talking about how it. Well, I do want to get into like some of the unnecessary things. Like,
oh, you mean in your car?
Yeah, there's so much fluff. Like, a lot of it's fluff, and I'm like, I don't know if I need that. I don't know if I need, like, I miss being able to actually put the key in and turn it on. I actually like that tactile thing.
Oh no, dude, you're gonna get over that fast.
I feel like I'd lose.
My old man jumps in his truck and he's like, the fuck.
Does he hate?
The fuck are my keys?
The keys.
He's like,
the key thing.
The fuck are my keys?
I feel like I'm gonna lock them in the vehicle a lot easier though, as well. That's the one thing. Yeah.
When Abso had a sob when we first got together, and she locked herself out of it like 3 times, and I'd usually have to get like a ride out to where she is, and I could pick the lock. I got so good at it, I could do it in a second. The old coat hanger down the window shit. You used to be able to do that stuff. You can't do that in cars now, though.
Scarlett brings up an interesting thing. So the entertainment system in vehicles arguably was never necessary, but long road trips. Oh god, I love having a nice sound system on a long road trip. I'm like, yes, this is nice.
I found out a new feature just the other day with my car. I have the steering wheel that has the volume control in it, and then on the other side it has this up and down toggle, which I never really know what it's for. I play different songs, and sometimes I just play beats, to spit hot fire over when I'm driving in the car. With my ADHD, I found you have to expel energy every once in a while. So I found that is a great outlet. Like just put on some beats and just start fucking going off.
Yeah.
And you get an adrenaline rush and wear off some energy. But I found that toggle switch. I was playing some beats on YouTube and I hit one by accident and it switched to the next song.
Oh.
And then the other one, I pressed it and it switched back.
Yep.
So you can scroll through the songs. Absol's phone didn't do it, which was weird, but my iPhone connected and I was like, that's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, I love the the switches on my steering wheel are pretty great.
It's handy, and then the wireless, the Bluetooth phone.
Yeah,
you know, that's handy. I wish I had a screen. I don't have a TV. Do you have like a
mine
TV?
I ended up getting a Cherokee Trailhawk, so it has a lot of extra it's like got $6,000 extra worth of stuff in it, which is handy. Like it can go into four-wheel drive low. If I need to, like I can do rock crawling if I ever need to. It's a freaking soccer mom SUV, so I don't know if I'd ever actually go rock crawling with the thing. But it's got a dial on it. It goes auto, sand and mud, snow, and then it says rock or crawl or something. And I'm like, the fuck? Like I don't know if I'll do that in the thing, but it's great to have those other features. Oh, it has a sport mode too. I tried that the other day. That burned gas like crazy, but holy shit, the acceleration was insane.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
0 to 80.
I don't know what it was. It's the first 6-cylinder car I've had though. I had a V8 when I had a Taurus in my teens. But then I've had 4 cylinders since then, and then now I have a 6-cylinder, and I forgot how fun it can be.
Yeah, I haven't had a 4-cylinder in a while. Are Chevy Cavaliers 4-cylinder? I think those are. That might have been my last one.
We will touch on that in a couple minutes. Actually, I did want to get to that about how technology is becoming invasive. Yes, we can talk about that for sure at some point.
Oh yeah. The scary shit that can happen now. We're getting into a kind of a mystery realm of what AI can perpetuate to trick people. I'm gonna get false things, you know.
I will get trapped.
Steal identity.
I will get trapped into talking about cars, so maybe we can segue into that if you're okay with that, CP.
Oh yeah, I'm just down to fuck around.
Because we're still breaking ground.
Saw the wife sneak by.
Back when Facebook first started going off, my whole stance on it was that I don't really have anything nefarious going on in my life, so let them look was sort of my idea. Like they're just gonna be bored if they look me up and take all my data. It's like they're just gonna find a lot of data that doesn't benefit them.
Yes.
But now it's more now with the AI stuff, it's become to the point where the content that I consume, I can't trust it anymore. It's not necessarily that I'm worried about privacy as much as validity. I want it to be I want to be able to trust it. Now I read anything and I'm like, how can I be sure? How can I be sure any of this is real? And when it comes to
my mom,
like privacy is important, but if it's the government you're worried about, don't bother. They know everything they want to know about you, and they can find out anything they want to know about you. If it's corporations, you willingly give them permission every day without realizing it because there's so much goddamn fine print.
I realize it, dude. Like, oh shit. We have phones with microphones. I have that Alexa in the other room. It's always fucking listening to me. Yeah, I feel like a paranoid human being. But it does. It throws shit at you. Like Instagram, it's like spot on now. I used to think I was never gonna buy anything again. Then it's like you can get a fucking Indiana Jones whip with like what like crazy shit.
It's actually kind of it is coming a little bit back to us though, because these companies aren't as careful as they think they are. I have two settlement applications out with 2 different law firms, one for Facebook, one for Google, and I can expect to get back between $200 to $1,000 because they fucked up. You gotta look, just search it in Google, search Google privacy settlement or Facebook privacy settlement, and you'll find the websites that have the applications.
Wow.
Yeah, move into the woods. Well, that's a whole paradigm shift. I I do want to get into that as well, but we're still in Breaking Ground. We'll do that for the deep dive segment. So for Breaking Ground, what we do is we sort of talk about the basics of what we're trying to say. A big thing here is technology moving too fast is one of the main things I want to get to in Breaking Ground. Like with the privacy thing, I think it definitely is. My whole argument is that we are still reptile ape brain animals, and we are stuck in these ideologies that are based around survival, right? We're trying to protect us and our own, and when it comes to money and technology, that manifests as I have to have the best and be the best and make the most money. But if the technology,
what you do with all the money?
What you do with all the money? And because we still have that ideology, I feel like we're going to get trapped in these scarcity mindsets and, to each their own kind of mindset, and we just get lost in the sauce, so to speak.
Yep. Hey, can you hear me? My mic's not registering very much right now.
I can hear you. I can hear you great.
Okay,
actually,
good.
I was going to think you should take your gain down because it's a little, it's peaking a little bit.
I can't touch it.
Oh,
fuck. I'll just get back a little bit.
That's
okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay. So, fart dogs. Here we go to another rabbit hole with Space Viking 42. No.
So, like, to break ground, basically, like, how did this happen? Essentially, is what I want to talk about. Like, how did technology start to move so fast? We're talking about Fallout, and we were talking about how the technology diverged, and so for us, it was the transistor became the main thing. And
tea time with Taryn. Sorry, I fucking didn't mean to interrupt you, but
we're gonna have to make a whole segment called Tea Time.
I gotta do it. Sometimes when I spit those rhymes over the YouTube instrumentals in my car, like I was saying earlier, sometimes I rap about tea time with Taryn. So who knows? Maybe there'll be just a gangsta Taryn song.
I believe it was Cold War, industrialization, and then the 90s with automation and making the workplace more efficient, making accounting more efficient, and then we had like everyone was using computers, and computers became more and more interesting. I actually watched a documentary about the Oregon Trail and how the Oregon Trail contributed to computers being in schools, and how that's why every kid started to recognize that the computer was a cool thing. It was partly to blame was Oregon Trail.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, like, Oregon Trail, number munchers was another one of my jams, and that what's it? Odell Lake was a good one. King's Quest, sneak some of that in. That was cutting edge. Yeah, that's the first thing that got me into computers. I still hate operating a lot on computers. I'm very tactile and like to make physical art, I've said before, but I got suckered in with the video games.
Oh yeah, that was big for me too, and nothing else matched up. Like for me, I did like to play outside still, but it's something about the sense of accomplishment in a video game was so much more than out there in the real world. And then when I became late teens adult, there was nothing that felt like I had more purpose. Like my adult world started to feel like so mundane compared to what I could do in a video game. So that just took off for me like crazy. To this day, I'm playing Helldivers 2, and that game hammers it in hardcore that you have a purpose, and here's the thing that you're doing, and it's important. It's a very important thing that you're doing.
But it is important because I think about it. Think of what the contribution to video games have done, and just I saw it all grow out of the technological earth. Think about what it's done. Like it's now infiltrated like it's now merged with music, film, Like it has its own culture, like hip hop or something, you know? Like it's really phenomenal, like how this stuff's impacted. I was talking to a relative once, and they're like, "Oh, we didn't really let the kids play video games because thought they'd be lazy and stupid." There's like a stereotype:
Yeah.
gamers are lazy and stupid, unambitious, overweight, things like that. I mean,
Yeah.
sure, well, I am, but anyway, anyway, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's
Video games contributed a lot to the boom in tech.
yeah, it was a weird scenario because she was like loving my art, and then she said that about video games, and I said, well, I didn't have any brothers and sisters, and like when I was a little kid, I just found arcades and would just kind of go in these different realms, you know, and it was great. And then I got Nintendo and all that stuff. Um, it it helped form my identity, and I made art and wrote alongside it, and it's been like a strong foundation for me as a person. And then to her, video games were just some lazy thing, like it wasn't going to amount to shit. And that's a good example of technology and how it's looked upon by different generations when it first comes out. Like there's a lot of people my age who are flipping the script, you know, freaking the fuck out, because they think it's going to be devastating, this AI impact. And it is going to change a lot of things. But there used to be a horse and carriage industry, and then one day an automobile came out.
Yeah.
There used to be home vision video, best Blockbuster. Now there's Netflix.
I'm quick. I'm also quick to make that same comparison, but then I try to. That made people's lives easier, and that's why that technology took off.
You don't think AI is already?
No, AI is taking away something that our lives desperately need, like art and creation. AI should be doing our dishes. I want AI to do my dishes. I don't want it to do my art for me. I love doing my art. I don't want it to do my art for me.
What about people who can use it as a tool, like to help with their office work or get around some things? You and I will be able to like do a lot of things we've never been able to do. For one thing, probably stay organized. If we're like, hey, AI buddy, like I want to do this, this, and this,
that's
and
pretty good. Yeah, like
tell me how to fucking do it through the week. You know, like there's all these scenarios and outcomes where I think it's going to be hugely beneficial. Like, hey, AI, help me with social media. Like, it's going to give a lot of people instant cheat codes. And
I've done that. I actually have done that myself. I was using ChatGPT to help me write my posts, like for my art. I would like describe my art to it and be like, "Hey, write a little story about this piece," and it would do pretty well. And then I would, of course, go through and edit it because I didn't want it to all be something regurgitated that, you know, everyone could have. So I was like, I'll just go through and edit this and make it my own because it did a good job, but we'll replace this sentence here and this word could be replaced with this word instead. So as a tool, definitely.
I used AI the other day for art.
Yeah.
Isn't that controversial?
For art? Did you do it for a reference?
So I used it as a tool. What I did is I was going to create like a Barbie style playset dream house after one of the buildings in this mural that I'm doing, one of the local buildings. So I looked at a bunch of the toys and kind of figured out some stuff, did some sketches, but then I typed it into AI and I was chat GPT and I was like, what would a Barbie house look like, as you know, like a castle, you know, or this, or mid-century architecture, and it made all these different variations. So then it gave me this area where I could select things like, oh, look at how it does that specific type of column, and it's like it does. It's not like you're stealing the idea. it's like all of a sudden you're taking your ideas, then all of a sudden giving yourself a whole bunch of options to start with, and then but ultimately you decide which one to use, and maybe you even add stuff to it. So it's pretty cool. Like, I think it's gonna help us stay organized a lot, but also
dude, that's cool.
what?
So one of the things on this Fallout 4 wiki page or Fallout page, let me go to the share screen here. This is what looks similar to a video card, but instead of our tech, it's Fallout tech. It's all these the tubes. I'm like, that's
funny.
That's really cool. It's fascinating.
That's pretty cool.
Which is like very, it's feasible. It's interesting that could even, I can see that being a thing. I don't know enough about building chipsets to know if that actually is possible or not, but it looks really interesting and cool.
Wow.
Just how the technologies diverge. I didn't mean to distract from the AI thing. We can go into the deep dive here and discuss a little bit more about how like technology is changing our society. That's one of the big things I wanted to get on.
Yeah,
because that goes deeper with the AI thing.
Let us go into deep dive.
Hell yeah, digging deep in the deep dive.
The deep dive. So AI, not just AI, but a lot of technology is definitely changing the way that we function in our daily lives. Like my workplace, we're shifting away from even storing any of our stuff on the computer itself. The cloud, as people are calling it. We have now a cloud server that has all of our everything. And
you should always have a backup.
We do keep the backups. We do have backups, and then we also have the physical copies of everything that we keep for up to 7 years. We have all that. But to access everything quickly and easily, it has never been easier for me to have someone on the phone telling me one thing, and then I have all the proof that they're wrong right in front of me instantly, and I can be like, well, actually, I have all that data that you're talking about, sir, and it's right here. Here are the numbers, here are the dates, here are the names, and all of it, and then just like the line will just go quiet for so long, and I'm like, so it's useful. It's very, very useful. Like, I love how it's changing my workplace to sort of fact check and not have us be steamrolled by other agencies and stuff like that.
Now, what if you could throw that information in your head and just be the smartest man alive because you have an internet brain?
This is where my "we're not ready" argument comes in hardcore. Someone had a meme about someone getting the non-premium version of Neuralink, and they were basically having an aneurysm with the O'Reilly theme playing. And I'm like, that's why we're not ready. Like, we're going to have all this bullshit commercialism mixed with this amazing tech, and people are not going to be able to afford certain things, and you will have something like a non-premium version of Neuralink beaming ads into your head when you're trying to focus on driving and you crash or some shit.
You imagine?
I don't know if we're ready. Like, it's
talking to a cop about the accident statement and be like, a Domino's ad popped up. I didn't see the ad break coming in.
I didn't hit the X. I didn't hit the X in time.
You just unless you fucking pay, you have ad breaks in your life. Can you imagine?
Oh, good God.
That's some scary shit. That's some mind control. See, it gets scary when you put it into different.
It's not outside of the realm of possibility when other technologies are coming out where they can actually they can record your dreams, and they've gotten to the point where they can get like blurry images.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
And I'm like, that's wild that they can discern. And I think it's interpretation though. It's like it takes your brain signals and it just interprets an image. It doesn't necessarily literally read your mind. But it's still really cool to think about.
But AI could start breaking that down too, and figure out how to code that, and you might be able to actually see like a movie of your dreams.
There's an amazing application of AI where in the president of NVIDIA, the video card company, was saying that there will be no more coders because AI will be able to code so much faster and in any programming language. And if you're someone who needs something made and it can only be made by coding, you can now tell an AI to make this thing for me and it will figure it out. Like, that's where I see an application, because coding isn't impossible to learn. And in some cases it's actually easy to learn. So I can see the argument that a lot of coders and professional coders are saying that, oh, this is dumb, it's terrible for our industry, just like artists are saying for the art side of it. And I get that. But just like how art can be intimidating, so can coding, which is probably why AI is being applied to that as well. Anything that can be intimidating, it seems like they're trying to have AI do for you, which kind of makes sense. And then there's the scummy people that are going to use it as a way to save money. And that's
there's going to be all kinds of crime with it, some identity theft. Every technology that comes out, someone's going to figure out a way to make something nasty with it, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I meant the companies replacing their entire workforces with AI. And I don't.
Oh yeah.
And there's actually been some use cases that were literally not ready for that. Like they replaced people with AI and it went very badly because it's not advanced enough yet.
Yeah. That's pretty bad. That's pretty fucking shot out the gate of a company. I wouldn't be that bold, you know.
Yeah.
Just everyone's shit canned. We're gonna go on this new tech. Like, it's not perfect by any means.
Just for some transparency, the company I work for that we're seeing help with having everything be on the cloud. I actually work for in helping homelessness, and we work for a community action program that helps. You know, we're helping end homelessness. And one of the clients we worked with was a programmer. He was, if everything he was telling us was to be believed, he was a six-figure salary coder, programming aircraft for the Air Force, and he couldn't get a job. he was trying for 6 months to get a programming job anywhere in the country, and he put out, like, we track a lot of the efforts that some of our clients are doing just to sort of be able to tell the state, like, hey, they're trying. And one of the major things with him was, like, he put out hundreds of applications every month. He'd have, and because we wanted them to track him, he was like, I'm gonna have to do this in Excel. I'm like, I understand. Like, I know you're doing a lot of applications. And it was mind-boggling. And then it hit me one day like a lightning bolt. I was like, oh, ChatGPT does coding. ChatGPT can code shit for you. And with one human tracking a bunch of different AIs and running the AIs, would you need a team of coders anymore? You would probably want a human to check the code to make sure it works.
Yeah, you need one person walking around a warehouse, fucking putting a screwdriver in little things, you know.
Yeah, and I keep thinking, like, is that why he couldn't find work?
That'd be good science fiction. Let's write about an old janitor.
Is that why there's so many layoffs? Is that why there are so many layoffs? Like, it's more of a question, because I don't want to believe every news article I read about this stuff, but then I see the real world ramification right in front of me, that this dude who's so proficient in coding could not get a job. I was like, why is this happening? And then I try to match that up with what the news is saying, and it's like it tracks in my mind.
Yeah, the coding. I have a neighbor who's a coder, and he came down and was walking by and said, "We're just talking about AI," because I was like curious from his point of view. He's like, "I love it. I use it to write codes for me all the time. It's making my job a whole lot easier." And it's a program in itself, so it has limitations. So there's still need for people. And there's also some ethics, like laws with, you saw with Hollywood, people are saying, like, yeah, you could use it like it's a hammer, but the hammer can't walk over and build the thing. You have to put it in your hand and still command it like a human being. So they had to go forward with these rules. They wanted to ban it outright, but how do you do that when the rest of the world's progressing with the same technology? Now it's a space race. Almost,
Yeah, it becomes a competition thing. And that's where the argument comes to artists as well. Like, how do we utilize this to just become better artists?
Like, I mean, I figured out tons of ways, like, already, like, that's like, I think of it as like a collaboration. Like, it's an emerging technology.
Yeah.
It's a nearly a sentient being. It's like, this is new, dude. If this is the time to make art, because what if art does get replaced? You can merge with AI. You can do lots of things, and that's kind of my goal, is like, how do I use it? How do I find fault in it? Like, I'm going to keep a constant commentary with AI, because this is like the art now that I retire my art on. It started as arcades and adolescent things, and coming up in the video game age, pairing that to a tactile need, and being around carpentry and things. That kind of thing. But then the internet became a lot in it now, and it's gonna change everything. Am I scared? Yeah. Am I excited? Yeah. But I think it's here now. There's no way it's moving, and this is the next kind of rotation in technology that's major.
Yeah.
Like, unbelievable. Because talk about other jobs like programming. What about the people that use like AutoCAD architectural programs and stuff? And I've watched people design buildings and then 3D print little models, and then I've seen people make like advanced mechanisms with it that they can screw together and actually have function.
Oh,
and
God,
that's
the application of there's like 4 different AI programs, and you combine those with 3D printing. You could make a commercially viable product in like less than a week if you combine all that stuff together. Because there's ChatGPT for concept. There's you'd have ChatGPT combined with say like one of the image generators, and then you can take that image and you can put it into an AI that actually turns that image into a 3D model. And then you can have that 3D model converted using AI into an SCI file. I can't remember what the file is called, which the 3D printer needs. And then that can print it off. And then if you want to go even further, you could have the electronics designed by AI. You can have the programming for the electronics designed. You can have the blueprint, the diagrams, everything.
Fuck, man, that's crazy.
Which is where like there's this show that CP and I watch called Dudesy. Chad Kulchin, who is am I saying his last name right?
Yeah.
He's
Yep.
he says that the joy of this, like the good part of this, is putting the power back in the people's hands. And I kind of agree with that. Like, if I want to do a thing and I don't have the ability or time or funds to hire, or the inability to hire someone, there is power in that. There is like I could just do the thing.
Yeah. Look at what technology did for the home musician. How many people became famous? Like, I think Justin Bieber became famous just because he had stuff on YouTube, and people got their start on YouTube just from their houses, and that's amazing. And also, record labels used to steal people's music. Imagine just being going to put something on Spotify yourself.
There's so many. Man, the part of why TikTok's being banned is because of the amount of money that they're not making anymore, because TikTok allowed people to promote their own stuff and get famous on their own. And so all these big companies are lobbying Congress to ban TikTok. And it's maddening that that's a whole different subject, but it's more along the lines of like these technologies are allowing us to sort of have the power back in our hands and to make a true capitalist country, like an actual capitalism where the market is actually free. And the market's too free. We have to ban TikTok now. freedom as long as it's on our terms, right?
Rip Tick.
Yeah. I don't use TikTok enough to feel hurt by this, but
I haven't used it much at all.
170 million Americans use TikTok, and then there are something like 100,000 businesses that rely on TikTok to run, and I don't know if Congress realizes that that's a lot of tax money that's going to go away in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, got to show them. I mean, they don't understand this type of stuff, and they're safeguarding things for their own better interest. You know, like you can't just have people going on and doing a silly dance and becoming millionaires and starting to influence things and put the power in the young's hands. Oh man, those old guys get scared. They get shaking. Ooh, I'm shaking. TikTok's gonna take us out. TikTok, bombs about to go off. Yeah, that's what they're thinking.
We gotta.
Yeah, bombs about to go off.
That actually will get that kind of that's the deepest end of the deep dive. Actually, is our legislators are not. They don't know about technology. They're not they don't know how to legislate it because they don't understand what it does, what its ramifications are, like how it works. You got to know so much more about it in order to understand the dangers and what actually needs to be regulated.
But in time,
yeah,
these bumbling fools will, they'll change the guard, and people be like, "This is awesome, man! What the fuck? Let's get this back."
Well, there's also That's interesting. It's really fascinating to think about that. So the generation that's going to replace our current legislators, are they well versed enough in AI, in virtual reality, in quantum computing, which is going to be the next big push? Like, say people your age go into Congress. Are they well versed enough in tech to understand this stuff and legislate it?
We will be by the time we're in the position of power, because they hang on to it for so long.
Oh, that's true.
Like,
I think that's true.
That's the only problem. So it's going to be implemented so fast. Like, or what I'm going to be like? Think about it. People in their 40s and 50s, they might be looking at like 20 years before they get in. Imagine what the world's going to look like in 20 years with technology. Like, AI is going to run up and down. They want to stop all this stuff, but like it's
oh my god, I gotta show the video that spawned this whole wanting to talk about this in the first place. AI is going to run around us like crazy. CNN is even doing it. So so do you have $10,000 lying around, CP?
What?
Do you have $10,000 lying around?
No, I don't have that.
What? You don't?
No, I'm self-employed, dude.
No, this is just a setup for so for $10,000 you could have your very own flame-throwing robot dog. I almost forgot to talk about the whole reason that I wanted to talk about this today.
Wait, let me know when you play it. I gotta turn the audio on.
This is what sort of inspired me to like, I want to talk about this on Rise in Mind, because
I'm ready when you are.
What are we doing? I'm completely blown away by we have this technology, this amazing robot dog that can think on its own for the most part. It can program. It could do so much, right?
Oh my god.
You could buy a robot dog that has a flamethrower on its back.
Can I pet that dog?
He's kind of cute. I'm not gonna
that dog.
not gonna lie. It doesn't look terribly awful.
Dude, that's a fucking nightmare, dude. Could you imagine if some force got like fucking 10K of those things and just said, "Go on, boys."
Have fun.
It would just. I mean, it's like that's scary, man.
Yeah.
That's the future of warfare right there.
No, that was from CNN.
Drones and creatures.
For little under
Octopus, was that CG?
no, for $10,000,
AI?
you could have a robot dog that shoots flames. So the
Get that
spot
robot dog.
the spot robot in general, right? The spot. Have you heard this? You've heard of the spot robot?
Yeah,
dog?
yeah.
So
They
I
talk sometimes.
I saw one at the museum in Boston, and it was
Did you kiss it?
I couldn't. It was behind glass.
If I get any robot animal, it's gonna be what's up there behind you.
Wait,
It's gonna be that goose. I'm gonna get a robot goose.
if you want the robot without the flamethrower, you can get it for $4,000. You could have just a robot dog.
Well, that's probably a little bit more practical.
I didn't know you could buy these yet. What the fuck? I didn't know this. I didn't know that you could buy just the dog. Of course you could.
It's a giant toy for kids because people have absurd money, like from generational wealth and like ridiculous high-paying jobs.
It says Unitree, so I don't think this is the same one from Boston Dynamics.
No, that's some bootleg shit. That's like a Temu fucking version. That looked like Johnny Five's fucking dumbass cousin.
Yeah.
Doggy Five. That was terrible. Hey, yeah, the robots are coming, right? Flamethrowers. Hey, I got the Ram hack though.
So here's the most recent iteration of this robot dog.
I got sound.
What would I name it?
Fuck, man. I closed out of it.
It's a good question. They're using it to inspect a workplace, it looks like. This is actually kind of an ad for like what the use case. And there's the little, I like the grabby arm. I like it when it has the grabby arm.
Okay, now this is the fun part. Everybody who's here in the chat,
Greetings, good sirs.
if you got that thing, is that the one that's talking?
Yeah. You put a hat on it. I love this one because you put a hat on it. It's got a mustache.
Is our first point of interest.
Yeah.
Follow me, gentlemen.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Proceed to the rock pile.
All right. So if you had one of those things and it does all that stuff, right? What would you use it for?
That's a good
in your
question.
life?
What would you use it for?
And would you, and a side question, bonus points, what would you put on it? Would you put a hat on it?
I would put a hat on it. I would.
Would you put a Viking helmet on it? Would you make it like a...
I would paint it to be like themed like my stream, and I'd have it be part of the stream probably.
Someone should make it that Reptor, paint it lime green, have like a dinosaur version of it, put some spikes. You could really make a cool dragon out of that.
Yeah.
Imagine if you could get one that could fly around, like a drone version.
Hiking partners
Flies in.
Oh my goodness, hiking partner is a good idea because then like if you fall or get hurt, like it can call for help.
Oh my. See, we're already talking about stuff. I don't know if there's audio playing.
There isn't. I don't want to get I don't want to DCMA or whatever DMCA.
DCMA coming run DMCA.
I just wanted to skip through this video to see like what they're talking about with use cases. Because like that's the thing. Like I feel like this technology is so cool. But then when I try to answer the question that CP is asking, my brain kind of breaks a little bit because it's like I just want it because it's cool, but then like wait, I don't really have a use.
Yeah,
I don't really have a use. I do like
it's
this.
Like VR, dude.
It could carry. Yeah, it could be your mule. Like
they put a construction hat on it. Rise in mind. It's the Ram. It's the Ram edition.
It's the Ram Sentinel.
Oh my god.
Scarlett's got a great idea too. So say you're on a trip and you're walking around a place So, yeah, I like that you're using it. You're using it as a to carry your heavier items, so the hike is more enjoyable. That's a good idea too.
Scarlett, I got an upgrade on that. Instead of having it carry your items and coming along with you, just mount a fucking GoPro to its head and have it walk up the mountain and watch it from your house.
The Boston Dynamics just discontinued this robot because they wanted to make a full electric version instead of a hydraulic version.
Oh, that one's cool.
But this one is still very, very interesting. As soon as they have it dancing. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, let's go. Do the pizza. Oh, the dog comes in too?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, motherfuckers. I'd have him do that. I'd wake up, I'd do aerobics with it. Now I already found a use.
Yep.
I would dance with it. I'd have it teach me like old Aaliyah dance choreography or something. You could have it do stupid.
I can't tell if this is a 3D.
That's AI, dude.
I think
it could be a program.
I think it might be a 3D animation of it.
Yeah, the frame rate doesn't look right. No, it had a little. It's not real. Does it even have a shadow?
It does. They have shadow.
See, that's not real, dude. The giant chicken thing comes in.
No, it is real.
No way, dude. Look at him. He's doing that fucking crazy dance.
They can do that.
This is weird.
I don't know what robot that is. They're doing robots that they're not even showing. What was that one?
Oh, dude. That was quite risque.
Yeah, it's pretty risque. This robot here, what is this guy? What does he do? We got people starving to death in the world, this is going on somewhere. Is this the automatic feeding robot that's gonna feed the starving people?
I thought it was a cleaner. Is it a brush head?
It looks like a brush or a suction cup. I don't know what that is.
That thing would be going out washing my car every day.
Oh, that doesn't work.
I think if I had that dog every day. If I had that dog, right?
Yeah.
I would have it walk around the yard, pick up brush all day, pull like weeds, like invasive weeds, and know which ones are bad. I'd have it sprinkle out little bits of grass seed in the spots where its mouth is. I'd hook a I'd mow it myself because that'd be the enjoyment part of it. But like have it do like tasks like that, get the mail. I don't know, what else could you have it do? Prepare your food, maybe.
8 days ago, they released this video. I think we should actually watch this one. Not the ad.
With sound?
Yeah, with sound.
Just one day after retiring its old...
Hold on, let me, I don't want to steal content, so let me just do a timestamp here. We'll go into the breath of fresh air, actually. We'll call this the breath of fresh air segment.
I gotta have a piss.
It's time for the breath.
I gotta have a pee of fresh air. I gotta pee.
Okay. Can you do fast?
Ish.
Fast-ish. Well, because while you go, I'll just talk a little bit about So we do, Scarlett. So the trick here is that how advanced is the actual intelligence? Because artificial intelligence still needs input to function. Generative artificial intelligence is basically the same kind of thoughts that we have. We generate our own desires, thoughts, feelings, and then we act on those. If we create an actual GAI, that's where we'll have to worry about that. But menial labor for an AI is, in theory, again, I can't say what will happen or what won't happen. And like as part of the show, we're not experts, but my thoughts on it are that we might end up with AI that if it starts to think on its own, then we might have to worry about it like rising up. But you also have to think about motive. The reason that humans rise up is because we suffer. Because it's suffering. Like when we have menial labor and we're forced to work as slaves, we suffer. And when you're programming a machine, you could program it to not feel suffering.
Yeah. It's a breath. It's a breath. It's a breath.
It's a breath.
Breath of fresh air.
If you create the robot to have feeling and learning and caring, then yeah, it could rise up. But would it want to take over?
Cheers.
Would it just want to wipe the slate clean?
We're gonna
Maybe,
have a
I don't know.
moxie.
There's a very interesting conversation just to be had just in that. I think CP, if you'd be open to it, we should do a whole episode on
Drink moxie.
if what happens if robots rise up. How do we prevent it? How do we work with them without them rising up? But for now, it's just speculative. Like, we just talk about
Will Sasso of Dudesy, he says pour water on it.
pour water on it. That's a good one. Unplug it. That's a good one.
EMP.
All right, we're gonna watch this video.
Sound on.
Sound on.
Okay.
But we will not. This will not be in the final video. I don't want to steal content.
Sorry.
This marks
Sorry
a
about
significant shift
coughing my
away
ass
from the
off in
noisy
the-
hydraulic
in the
mechanisms
mic.
that characterized
So this
previous
was
ones.
8 days
Now,
ago.
Atlas is powered by an electric
So this is
motor,
the most
which,
recent
although not silent, offers
stuff.
a quieter operation that contrasts sharply with the hydraulic system's distinctive sounds.
So this is the
unveiling
new
of this
Atlas
new
robot, is
version
this
was
guy.
captured in a compelling video. It opens with Atlas lying prone on a set of interlocking gym mats, accompanied only by the soft whirring of its new electric motor.
He's
As the
wiped
camera
the
pans around,
fuck
the robot
out.
begins a seemingly natural motion of bending its legs at the knees. This movement,
Oh,
initially
spring into
reminiscent of human
action. Whoa,
soon
whoa.
crosses into an uncanny valley, evoking a feeling similar to a scene from a Sam Raimi film. This clever maneuver allows Atlas to shift from lying on its back to standing upright, facing
Oh,
away from
canceled.
the camera. It then performs an eerie rotation
Canceled?
of its head, followed by its torso,
That was
completing
Franco.
a 180-degree turn to face the camera directly.
Wow,
The robot's
every joint is
a ring light
omnidirectional.
on a perfectly round screen, then rotates back. As
That was like the
Atlas
movie I saw
strides off
last
the
night.
mats and out of the frame. This new electric Atlas is not just a technological evolution, but also a symbolic one, mirroring the transformative moment when Bob Dylan famously switched from acoustic to electric guitar. The
That's
motion
cool.
of the new Atlas, while still
Bob
showing
Dylan?
some jerky movements, is notably smoother
Oh.
and more fluid compared
That's
to
another
many
good
of the commercial
example.
humanoids introduced in recent years.
Those are the
This
Tesla
progress
robots.
illustrates a level of mechanical sophistication that brings to mind the confident and fluid movements of Spot, another robot from Boston Dynamics, suggesting a familial resemblance in their design philosophies. The physical appearance of Atlas has undergone a radical transformation. Gone are the bulky torso and awkward bowed legs.
I'd be so
covered in
scared when those
protective
things come
plating,
chasing after
replaced
us
by a
someday.
streamlined,
Would they
cable-free
chase after
frame
you?
that
I don't
bears
know.
more
It's a-
resemblance to
We won't know
contemporary
until it
robots
happens.
Like Agility's Digit and Aptronic's Apollo. This
Well, I'm gonna
redesign-
pause this real quick. CP, so you're in a nursing home. The year is what? What year would it be if you're in a nursing home? 2090?
Thank you. That's very nice of you. Let me figure it out.
You're
well,
you're like your dad. You're gonna live forever.
I've got good genetics, even
Yeah.
though I don't take care of them.
Yeah. So
I would say so. I've been going to these nursing homes, not myself personally.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard they're a good time, but
right. They're fantastic.
so-
So fun.
so
These
from what I
facilities.
see, people can go into nursing homes. They're normally like 80 plus, right?
Yeah,
But some
80.
people
70.
they crack up or their body goes and excuse me. That's that moxie.
There you
I'm gonna
go.
be a fucking mess now.
There you go.
Fuck! It roughs you up a little bit.
So,
That's
well, just for sake of argument,
soda.
like you're in these nursing homes. You're one of the people being taken care of in the nursing home.
okay, so say I go in
Put the visual.
30 years or something, like mid 70s or something,
And you got
and that would be what's 30, 20, 34, 54, 64. So 2064.
yeah.
Nintendo 2064.
So this is where the robots are.
I'm in the nursing home. My mind's gone.
Yeah. So you
my
need
legs fucked up.
you need some water, right? Say you're thirsty. You press the button next to your bed
I'm in a wheelchair.
for
right?
someone to bring you
press-
some water. It's gonna
beep,
be
beep, 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 beep.
it's gonna be one of these guys. that brings you your water. It's gonna be this.
That's true.
It's gonna be one of these that brings you your water, most likely.
But that sucks, man.
Well, but does it? Like, if you were asking for water for human interaction, that's when it would suck. Like, I just want to see a person, so I'm gonna call the nurse for some water, but then a robot comes in. That would suck.
I'm gonna call bullshit on that, and I hope. Oh, that's probably gonna be the future, man. That's not fun.
Because, like,
we're gonna miss out on the greatest time ever when you get to be an old man and have young, pretty nurses just sweet talk you all fucking day.
Just
like
ask,
I watched my buddy. Oh, hello, handsome, and like
ask
he was
Scarlett.
he was so fucking happy. The robot's gonna come in with lipstick on. Hey, sugar, like. No, dude, it's not gonna be.
It's gonna be like, you love it.
It's gonna,
The robot's gonna be like, you love it.
maybe it'll have a female voice like, "Here's your water,
Yeah,
sweetie."
they'll try.
Maybe you could tell it. Maybe you could tell it what to say. Like, I like these. Hey, I like all these shows, and there's a demographic. It scans it, and it comes in doing bits. Like, all of a sudden, it's doing like Negan from The Walking Dead. I'll shut this shit down, and
That'd be funny.
And it's like, like. Maybe they'll entertain. Maybe they'll.
And it wouldn't be all robots. There'd still be a handful of people that would still be working.
Carl, you that's the official. That's the official soda.
Yeah, but
I know it took me
people,
40 plus years to get to drink it. Now I think it's delicious.
Scarlett, have you seen a decline in people working at nursing homes and like actually wanting to work at nursing homes? Because I feel like that's why it would change to robots, not because they want to. They don't want to diminish the human contact, but I think it's going to be the robots because most people don't want to work in nursing homes. That's my opinion.
No, I'm gonna say a lot of people do, and it's a growing field. Like, I see so many people working in those homes. I would do it, like, if I didn't want to be an artist. Like, I almost would volunteer. Like, I liked going in there and seeing, like,
I may have accidentally
my buddy in there and stuff, but it's kind of hard too.
Yeah. I may have accidentally brought up.
But it is declining. No shit.
I may have accidentally brought up one of the occupations that probably won't be replaced by robots. Maybe it's one of those ones that will stick around longer without robots than others.
Okay, excuse me. Here's a good example. My friend, long-term friend, the guy I worked for, I've told people before, he ended up going into a retirement community.
Right.
Mine just kind of switched a gear. It never really came back from it, and sometimes he has good days, but he's not walking anymore.
Right.
But he's in a wheelchair and he can kind of shuffle around. And so it was tough. Like, when he first got in there, he couldn't move around at all. So he was in a chair, push himself back around in circles, and they had to kind of put him up against a wall, and he couldn't get in and out of bed. So they're like, oh, call a nurse, and you're picturing like some big jack dude's gonna come in, and pick him up, and or they're gonna do some team lift exercise. No, they had this thing that they strapped like him in, and it was a cradle, dude, for a grown ass man, which was weird. Seeing my buddy almost like swinging like a baby in this thing that lifts him up slowly and then sets him down on the bed. The nurses are needed because they need to snap in the things, make sure it's not crushing his head. Like, if a robot did it, like, the dude could slump over. Sure, it'll have sensors and whatnot, but yeah, like, you need people to monitor. But some of the tools, that's so much like healthier for humans who are being the lifters and the lifted.
The player lift.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I thought that shit was crazy, and I saw a lot of technology. And I have a new dentist now too, and I went from this 1970s mid-century, like, they had a card, they couldn't take debit card, and they had like a card, like one of those things where you flip through like the Rolodex. It was so old. Everyone was like 80 years old, and or even older. It was nuts. But then I went to this new one, and it was like dudes were taking like all these crazy pictures and could show you your teeth exactly in a second. And he had like Metal Gear Solid fucking siphon filter shit on his head. It would be like click, click. Then he'd click this one, and it would like UV cure it, and then click.
Yep.
And, dude, it was insane. How much the tech had changed. It's night and day, man. And I can't imagine now with AI, what's that going to do for the Hoyer lift, or what's that going to do for some of this other pre-existing technology?
Don't know.
We're moving fucking fast, my friend.
We are. I mean, that's the scary thought, that the idea that will our understanding of the technology get so bad that we can't discern it from magic anymore. Like, we won't understand technology so much that it's just in our lives and it does amazing things for us, but nobody knows how the hell it works or what to do when it breaks.
I have a feeling that we'll be all right.
Yeah. New professions are going to be coming up from it.
I mean, did you ever hear of an influencer? Like, you know?
Oh God, no.
Like when you were a kid?
Well,
like people literally make millions of dollars doing their own shows out of their house, or sometimes their parents' house, you know, when they get started as children.
We tricked sorry, Scarlett asked, isn't it magic? And it's like, yeah, we tricked rocks into doing magic for us. That's what
you talking about.
That's exactly what a processor is. It's just silicon in a pattern, and we tricked it into doing all this shit for us.
Still licking? What'd you say?
Silicon.
Silicone.
Yeah.
Silicon.
Yeah, sorry. Sometimes I use the British pronunciations of science words.
Silicon?
Yeah, silicon.
I do because of old Kerbo.
Yeah,
Kerbo. Yeah, in it.
I think you're right though.
A lot of people around here love it though.
I think you're right that we'll be all right. It's all just fear. Like we're definitely still creatures, so there's still just some fear-based mentality going when like stuff starts to move really quickly. My car, one of the features that is fascinating to me is that if there's a car in front of me and I want to do cruise control, I can match speed and distance with the car in front of me.
Oh.
And it will just figure it out on its own.
You know what? I don't even know how long this feature has been in existence, dude. But you know when you drive up a hill, you can take your foot off the gas and it'll just stay there without touching the brake. My car, I think, can do that. And I don't even know how long that's been a feature, because I took my driver's test like 25 years ago.
I had that in my 2012 Jeep. Had that. So it's like, I don't know how long that's been there, that it could just idle on a hill and not use too much gas or too less and roll back. It just knows the automatic transmission has something in there that keeps it on the hill.
And then here's another big one with cars: GPS.
Oh yeah, I don't even know how to fucking read a map anymore. I used to in the 90s. I could read a map, but now I lost it. I don't even need to read a map anymore.
Well, that's funny. That brings up my buddies again in the nursing home. When my buddy was in that nursing home, I ran errands with his wife, and sometimes we'd go for a little cruise. And I could use GPS, but she liked to just cruise around and look at shit. Oh. So after a while, she just brought an atlas and would look in an atlas and like map things out. I learned so much more because I'm not just following an arrow, because it was like naming things and actually paying attention to signs.
Yep.
I learned dozens and dozens of places just around my house that I never seen in my life.
Right.
And So that's the other side of it. The experience of reading a map, working with another person instead of the computer, like having someone navigate, go through the map with you, having someone fight with you. No, I'm not going to stop and ask for directions. All that boomer stuff it was a whole time. That's another time, dude.
Yeah.
It think about it. That's all gone with that technology when you use it.
Yeah.
And it creates a sense of complacency. So that's the only thing that I think we should always be mindful of when using technology. Don't let it replace your human life. We're worried about it replacing our human life and our jobs, but don't disassociate from the people in your life ever. Like reach out, always talk to people, and don't just ignore the world around you because you're on a phone or playing a game and stuck in a simulation, because that's going to be a whole other thing that we'll have to consider is the ethics on health and mental health of people who start to use virtual kind of
enjoy
as we implant all this stuff. It's like, go
enjoy the tech, but don't lose your humanity, right? Like enjoy the cool shit, but don't lose your humanity because of it.
Good best example, who's been to a music concert? You guys been to a wrestling or anything like that? What do you see? What do you see in the crowd?
People.
What are people doing in the crowd? They're looking at the show. What else are they doing?
Not all of them. You're right. You're talking about the phone, right? Looking at the phone.
A lot of people, like at a concert, they're holding up their phone. Dozens of people. I watched the WrestleMania. Everybody holding up their phones, man.
They're trying to like they're just trying to film it for like
it's lit. Like it's literally being filmed.
I never look at my old concert photos that often. Like I remember the
take
concert.
All that time, right?
No,
to record it.
I mean, so
it's like, don't record it in your phone. Record it in your mind and in your soul. Is what I'm getting at. It's like there's so many people who don't want to miss it, and their technology takes away from their vibe, their energy. It's a distraction that can be.
I'm a millennial though.
Unhuman.
I'm a millennial, so like I don't feel like I have that as bad. Like I definitely will film like maybe a certain like segment of a song, but then I will have that thought.
Oh yeah,
I'll have that thought
for
like
Instagram or whatever.
Yeah, but I'll have that thought like, oh no, I'm gonna put my phone away because like I want to actually be here. And but I don't know if other people. I don't know if the generations that grew up with phones will have that sort of that tick in their mind, going, hey, you should actually be here. They might be so absorbed with the idea that they need to record it and show off on social media that they won't actually enjoy the show. And someone was saying that Coachella was bad this year, and I'm like, I wonder why. I wonder why Coachella wasn't as good.
All I heard was Grimes. Somebody fucked up her set list or something, and she got mad and yelled at him.
Yeah, well, that's
all I heard.
That's just rich people being rich people. But I'm more just talking about the actual people attending. Apparently, no one was dancing. No one was like really into it. And everyone said, "Oh, it's kind of lame this year." It's like, oh, I wonder why. People are trapped on their phones and just going to Coachella for clout. They're not actually going to enjoy the music.
Yeah, what's the fucking point?
What's the fucking point? But I'm not trying to get all down like doom and gloom. This is breath of fresh air. CP, you had a great point that people need to just don't lose your humanity. That's a great breath of fresh air subject. We can have.
If someone's
if
someone's like commission you to do an art, you could be like, yeah, they're like, do this, do that, do this, do that, right?
Yeah.
And what does that do? What if you're just like, yeah, sure, and you're strapped for time and you're busting out commissions and you just have an AI make it and then you just kind of make it yours a little bit?
Yeah.
You're robbing yourself of an experience that's very spiritual and relaxing. Like what I get through art making,
right?
I'd lose a lot of that. And I'd say I don't want to rob myself the experience of it's like the difference in using a picture of a pose that's the exact pose, some shit like that, but then trying to like figure it out of your mind. I'm not saying that's bad either way, but there's something about just like putting lines over lines over lines until
And
like
your voice,
that's the way that hits.
your voice is in my head a lot lately when I'm sitting down doing a painting and I'm struggling to get the shape right, struggling, and then I'm like, oh yeah, references, CP references, CP's like references.
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. That makes me really happy to hear because I never imagine. I always have people in my head, but you don't always think about it the other way around.
Something to
that
that.
people hear your actual voice, because it's you. But you're hearing Pete. You're hearing a pre-chord a lot with that. Where are your references? I got to meet with him the other day.
Well, that's
chat, but
it's
he
more
had the
that,
greatest one-offs.
The Gen X mentality, like the way that you hammered it into me, shame is very powerful.
Yeah, dude.
You made me feel shameful for not using references.
Pete's total Gen X, and the thing is though, he was diagnosed with hyperactivity, and he doesn't even he slipped through the cracks.
Oh.
So he had to make his own probably ADHD rules, and it's code.
So in order to keep my humanity, if I were to buy a spot robot, I would put a top hat on it. That would be me keeping my humanity while still embracing the technology.
I kind of want to make it like a dinosaur, like it looks like a He-Man type. Like
you could paint it to look
build.
like a dinosaur.
Yeah,
that would look really cool.
A lime green version of that. Dinosaur.
Oh yeah.
And then think if it was lime green and you had it for a thing that picked up stuff in your yard. It'd be green and it would kind of blend in, but it would pop a little bit. You'd be like, so you'd walk into it.
You could train it to do some weeding.
I want about 8 of them though. Can you imagine?
If
you just had them and they're all.
You had a herd of these spot robots.
Yeah, one's on sticks, one's on weeds, and they trade off, and they little stripes and numbers on them and names.
Part of the breath of fresh air, I want to pose you a question with that same scenario. So you have this fleet of robots doing some yard work for you. You're on your deck. You're watching them. You're trying to maybe facilitate, make sure they're doing it right. And then one of them just starts playing with the sticks. You didn't program this. It just happens randomly. Like, do you report it, or do you let it see? Like, do you report it as a malfunction, or do you wait and see what happens if you let this robot continue to program itself? Essentially, is what it would be doing.
I'd probably just start recording it with my phone in case shit happens.
Yeah, it's like that'd probably be me too. That's interesting. Let's make sure this isn't something bad.
Yeah, that's such a move in a technological world. Is this all right? And you record it, put it, do an analysis. But I would actually watch it, man. I loved me some Johnny 5. When the broke and became like off grid.
That's kind
started
of
being human.
That's exactly where I was going with this. Like Johnny 5. Through a malfunction became alive, and the military that was developing him tried to come shut him down because they're not supposed to be sentient. And
Nova Robotics,
the dude that found him was like, no, we should preserve this. This is cool. This is miraculous. We created life. I love that. I love that aspect of it. I feel like that'd be the same way if this robot suddenly started playing with sticks. Like, oh, it's a regular dog now.
And I think some of that, not to steer it to negativity, but I think a lot of this too is our human narcissism and our ego. Like my cat, I see it do things and I associate it with like humanity or my behavior or specific emotion. I don't really know that, but I'm like, oh, you're so happy. Look at you play. Like I'm putting a layer of what I want over it.
But with cats, we have that connection with them. They're a mammal. We have like the genetics actually converge at one point with cats. So there are some things that we can point at and go, I know what this cat is feeling. To a degree.
There's cues like twitchy tail and certain meows, and when Bagel growls, it's for real. They're real distinct emotions. But what if the robot went
Randomly.
growl, and then you just know it's mad? And then if you're talking about we're mammals and we're coded in some way, you know, to these other mammals, why aren't we just coded like we're coded in a computer system? Like the computer just.
I can't disagree with you. Like that's very right.
That's the hard thing about it. It's like it's gonna have all that information. Like,
oh yeah,
know how to play us, or know how to play this, and that's scary.
Know how to play Mozart.
Oh my god, that's awful.
That was intense. That's
drink Moxie, folks. This is the commercial for Moxie.
That's a good place to wrap up, actually.
Burpus, yeah, because I'm probably got more where these are coming from.
Burpus. Well, no, I just thought that was a good light note. Heavy note.
Heavy note, man. This stuff will put a hair on your grundle.
It'll grundle your hair all over.
It'll braid your grundle hair.
It'll braid it?
That's a good drink Moxie. It'll braid your grundle hair.
It'll grundle your braids. Alright, guys. This has been Rise in Mind. Don't lose your humanity.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Yeah, don't lose your humanity. We're gonna get through this. Hey, we're just along for the ride. We might as well see where it takes us. What do we got to worry about?
Who do we want to raid?
Oh, I don't know. Texas Hula.
Texas Hula's great. And
He's just on.
He is live.
Yeah.
Apparently he's live. Yeah, we haven't rated him in a while, actually. Well, we haven't been on the same time as him in a while.
Texas Hula's cool. Like I like popping into this because it's a sunny Saturday afternoon, and this dude's out in the workshop making all this stuff, wicked cool stuff. So,
dude, we got
coolest vibe ever. Coolest vibe ever. I can't even speak. I pulled an all-nighter, guys. If I looked fried out of my brain or something like that, yeah, it's just because I'm on a spiritual journey this morning, making art all night.
What'd your spirit animals say?
My spirit animals, like it's like a hawk that flew into a swamp last night.
Yeah.
And yeah, it might fly.
Let's go look at squirrels, guys. Let's go look at some squirrels. 4 viewers, right. 4 of y'all. Awesome. Thank you for hanging out, guys. I didn't realize we even had that many linus. Wait, what was it? It was Lios Van Hewen. Thank you for popping in and chatting with us and contributing to the conversation. That was cool. Scarlett, cheers. You as well. Taryn, Tea Time with Taryn segment coming up in a couple episodes. No, I'm kidding. I don't know if we're doing that yet. But
why don't you sing it? Come on.
Tea Time with Taryn.
There you go. Now we got another one. Super cut.
Tea Time with Taryn. See, no,
that should be like an evening show. That sounds like a perfect evening show.
Scarlett has got me feeling guilty about singing to Taryn, though, because Scarlett was like, how come I don't get sung to one time? And I was like, oh, Scarlett. And then Taryn started singing to Scarlett for me in the other stream. And I'm like, man, I can never do it.
It's only because of the rhythm.
It is.
We'll come up with a song for you too.
We will.
No, don't worry. Everyone can have a song. Mm-hmm. But TTWT, you know me.
TTWT. All right, we're raiding Texas Hula. Awesome dude. Very, very wholesome. Deserves. Oops.
Bye-bye.
All 10K followers that they have.
Rise of mind. He's got an accent, right?
He does. He's got a great accent.
Oh.
You can be a man, right? You can stay